Okay, hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in today. So today I am sitting with Mpo,
And I'm
and
sitting with Sharon.
of course, and welcome again to our channel, Wellifehub. And today we'll be having a conversation about ending the year.
Absolutely.
Yep, we have reached December. Can you believe it? It was January yesterday. So yeah, for me, I mean, end of the year means a lot of things for different people. So yeah, maybe just to get into it, I've seen that for me, end of the year can be very overwhelming, because it's December. The hype, the social energy. It's so hard to keep up. And
Absolutely.
I mean, it's also happening at a time when you are tired from the events of the rest of the year.
Mm,
So yeah, how do we just ease into it?
mm. I mean, Sharon, what you're saying about, the tiredness or
Mm.
the fatigue at the end of the year. I think I can talk about 2024 reaching so many periods of burnout throughout the year. So I can only imagine being now in December
Mm.
and the fatigue that I'm feeling
Mm.
and how other people can relate to that, right?
Mm.
So we all have different ways of coping with fatigue. Some people prefer the spa days, some people
Yeah.
prefer, just that downtime by the beach if you
Mm.
have a rich dad. But hey,
Budgets are also, a real factor in life.
right.
Yeah.
Some people just prefer, staying indoors and all of that. But for me personally, what I like doing,
Mhm.
it sounds a little bit weird or out of the box, but
Mhm.
I usually what I try and do is I push through December and I work because socially I get so overwhelmed.
I can
I can't
imagine,
keep
yeah.
up with all of that social energy. So I prefer to work towards, like the later parts of December, just before Christmas. That's when I'm like taking my leave. So I can actually take the time in January to replenish and be by myself and do all of that self-care
Yeah.
that I know I won't be able to achieve
Yeah.
in December because there are too many things to do.
Yeah.
So, it really is about understanding how you sort of associate with a specific period in your life, just as, we all associate with the different seasons in life differently. Like some people love spring. I can't stand spring. I can't stand summer. I'm more comfortable around autumn and winter.
Yeah.
Because that cold it's not too abrasive in South Africa.
Yeah.
But the heat in South Africa during spring and summer, I can't handle, right?
Yeah.
So, it's about understanding yourself. It's about understanding what sort of fills you. And if you haven't gotten to that point of understanding yourself, maybe take that journey in December. Take the journey to understand yourself. Take the journey to understand what really speaks to you in terms of, oh, this is how I actually rest. This is how I engage with myself. Yeah.
No, that's interesting. Actually, I've never thought about that, working during the hype. So that, I mean, also by working, you are focused. So you don't feel like you need to be catching up with the who's and what's But I think for me, I've also seen that December is or end of the year, it's a reflexive period.
Yes.
Because a lot of times when the year starts, we have our New Year's resolutions, we have all these to-do lists and stuff. And I think by the end of the year, you sort of want to censor yourself and say, was I able to do this? And the things that I was not able to do, what stood in my way. Sometimes, I mean, I feel like it could also be a mourning time, like mourning things you couldn't be able to do.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and I mean, being honest about that, because I mean, sometimes I know we set unrealistic resolutions or expectations on ourselves, but also sometimes there are things that you hope for that are realistic that you are still not able to get to. So for me, I also use the time to look into that, to reflect, and to plan ahead again, because when January start, I feel like sometimes you just need to hit the ground running. So I think in December, when you have that time to reflect and to journal, whether it's journaling or externalizing it by having conversations with another person, maybe even your therapist, then yeah, it sort of helps you tie things up for the year. Yeah.
You know, I really like what you said about grieving certain things that you haven't achieved, because as much as you're going into a period of reflection, it's also important to be kind to yourself, you know, in that period of reflecting, because you may find that you wouldn't have, you know, checked all the boxes that you would have wanted to check. Some people are really, really hard on themselves. You know, their internal dialogue is so critical that they really push themselves to a point of breaking. And it's important to sort of normalize a softer voice that also encourages you to take that time out, that encourages you to just, you know, let certain things go, let certain things that may no longer serve you in your next chapter, let them go. Yes, you worked hard for it in your current chapter, but it may not serve you in your next. So yeah, it's important to reflect and grieve, but be kind to yourself in that December period.
No, absolutely. But I think I'm challenged by what you're saying, the letting go part. You know, it's so hard to let go because we want to hold on, you know, because the reason you held on to something is because you associated it with a certain value or importance or whatnot, you know. So letting go can really be hard. But I think letting go can also be positive in the sense that you could also be letting go of bad habits.
Exactly.
You know, like because I mean, if you're reflecting honestly, then you'll also be able to identify weaknesses or things you didn't do right, you know. So I mean, in letting go, then that could also be some of the things you challenge yourself to let go of. And I mean, it's not easy, but yeah, I guess it's doable.
Yeah. And, you know, another positivity of letting go could even be, you know, letting go to work towards more, letting go of, you know, a dream that may not have materialized, to actually step into the more that's, you know, set out for you or that's been set apart for you, to step into the more that you really find yourself in, where you fully, you know, engage yourself in. So letting go isn't always, like you say, it's not always negative. It can be positive to allow you to open yourself up to being more than what you even expected of yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that was a great conversation. Thank you so much. I think for me, the highlights that I've picked up, you know, it's the softer voice, number one, you know, because I mean, we are in a society that expects things to get done, you know, so not getting things done then can mean a lot of things that could be crippling. So thank you for that. That is what I'm taking away from our conversation, letting go, but also recharging and replenishing ourselves. So thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. Thank you, Sharon. And we will see you in January, where we start planning again and start moving again.
Yes. So have a good one and see you in 2025.